A pleasant good evening from the nation's capital, Monrovia. Welcome to News Today on KMTV with me, Emmanuel Davis, presenting this 11th day edition of our News November 2019. Stories topping this presentation. United Nations Peace Building Commission pledges continuous commitment in supporting Liberia's peace, security, development, and democratic endeavors. Press Union of Liberia election hangs in the balance as Civil Law Court B places injunction on the entire process, writes the leadership. And Liberian journalist and educator Dr. Charles Bolly launches 2 books, encourages his peers to strive in becoming future champions. These plus many other developments are packaged into tonight's edition of this news presentation. We take this break. When we come back, we go straight into these developments. Please don't you go away. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Tonight on our news presentation, we bring you our first development. The United Nations Peace Building Commission has pledged its commitment in working for peace, security, development, and democracy in Liberia and the Minor River sub-region at large. Speaking during the end of an official visit to Liberia, the UN diplomat said one of their objectives as part of the visit to the region was to help promote regional integrity, something he noted is well on course. He assured the regional body that they will work with civil society groups and other international partners to explore opportunities for enhanced cooperation aimed at supporting cross-border activities with a focus on sustaining peace and security in the region.
The main objective of this visit is to assess the international support to the peace-building priorities of Liberia and explore opportunities for enhanced cooperation in support of the cross-border regional issues, relevant peace-building and sustaining peace challenges in the Mano River. Our message today, Mr. President, can be summarized in the PBC's strong commitment in working for peace, security, development, and democracy in Liberia, based in the priorities you have defined and looking towards working together, the government, the civil society, and the international community. Over the last 2 years, the PBC has convened several meetings on regional and cross-border peace-building challenges, including on the Mano River, Great Lakes, and the Sahel region. Considering the importance of the convening role of the peace-building commissions, we hope to be able to mobilize the UN system as well as other international regional actors to further enhance partnership and ensure coordinated and coherent support peace-building efforts in Liberia and in the Mano River Union. A critical issue for this trip is to promote the regional integration process of the Mano River. And we believe that it is important to make efforts to strengthen the Secretary General of the Mano River. I have personally close experience with mechanisms of the integration as the Secretary General of the Andean community, and believe me that today is much better to work convoy work alone.
Also speaking at the program was President George Weah, who thanked the UN Peacebuilding Office for supporting Liberia's peace-building efforts over the years. He acknowledged that the UN Peacebuilding Commission Office has been a reliable partner to sustaining peace and security in the country.
Liberia is grateful to have you, especially at this very critical period in our ongoing effort to strengthen and sustain our peace, security, and democracy, as well as to discuss measures to improve the Liberian economy. Your Excellency, Ambassador Guillermo Fernandez de Soto, we are happy that the Peace Building Commission continues to be a reliable partner to Liberia for almost a decade. The Peace Building Commission has always endeavored to ensure that Liberia receives the necessary attention and support aimed at sustaining a peace, security, democracy, thus encouraging economic growth and development. The PBF has contributed funding for many projects in Liberia, and I'm told that further support is pending for land and decentralization, including phase 2 of the cross-border project with Cote d'Ivoire. We note that the areas we support are very critical in helping to strengthen our peace, including your support to national reconciliation, justice and security hubs, land disputes, resolution, elections processes, women empowerment, and the rule of law, among others. The Peace Building Fund did not only assist in the creations of the government's Peace Building Office, it also created and launched the Liberia Multi-Partner Trust Fund as the centralized trust fund for both peace building and development priorities, as are jointly agreed by the government of Liberia and the United Nations on the basis of the Popo Agenda for Prosperity and Development. To date, the PFD has been the only donor to that trust fund, which we appreciate.
Meanwhile, Liberia's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador D. Maxwell Sakimaya Sr., noted the level of support given to Liberia by the Peace Building Office is commendable, but encouraged them to do more, especially with the huge challenges the country is faced with currently.
It is our fervent hope that deliberations during this visit will afford the joint UN mission the best of opportunity at first hand to assess the situation on the ground as it relates to the level of support that has been given Liberia, and taking into consideration some multiple challenges and how the United Nations, and in particular the Peace Building Commission, can work together with your government and people, Your Excellency, as it relates to moving the partnership forward, as it relates to the way forward. Peace Building Commission has been very, very much supportive. And we hear Your Excellency, Peace Building Commission, we are quite aware that the issue of peace, there are a number of factors that influence our peace.
Well, from the diplomatic sector now, let's talk education-related matters here in our news. A passionate youth and student leader, researcher, and a Liberian journalist, Dr. Charles Bolly has officially authored and launched 2 motivational and inspirational books in Liberia. The resource materials are titled The Champion's Thought and The Youthful Champion, respectively. The 2 books, written in China during his PhD studies, focus, among other things, on how young people globally can identify as well as motivate themselves in actualizing their full potential as future champions of the global community, despite the enormous challenges confronting the globe. Dr. Bolly used his life story in one of the chapters of the books to motivate as well as inspire young people on the planet to pursue their goals in life by being determined and committed to the core. Let's now bring you Dr. Bolly speaking at the launch of his 2 books titled The Champion's Thought and The Youthful Champion.
I wrote 2 books, 2 problems confronting our nation right now. And Liberia's transformation will remain cosmetic if they are not dealt with. I'm not speaking because I have some authority or I've written 2 books. I'm speaking because I've studied them deeply. One is unfulfilled potential. Many of us, if I stand here and I'm showing you 2 books, you say, this guy is a genius. A tenant, a neighbor, met me when I told him I'm launching my books today. He said, really, 2 books? You're a genius. I told him I'm not, but I'm somebody who is effortful, who wants the transformation of the world, who wants the world to not be the same again because he has passed by. And that is why we're trying to live each day. So it's not about being genius or being so smart, but because the potential we have is so huge. And if you make a commitment today to cultivate that, I can see things coming together in line for your business. So one problem in our country is unfulfilled potential, and many are not living up to their full capacity. You can write 5 books in a year, you're sitting here. It is not a big deal. It took me 1.5 years to write 2 books and do a PhD at the same time, just to tell you that what you are carrying is so great. So one of our problems is that we are not giving our best best. And we want to deal with that in these books. The second thing is pessimism or negativity or poor thought patterns. Now, our minds, or we are products of what we think about most of the time and what we discuss most of the time. In our nation, we talk about politics all of the time and listen to music. And our radio stations play music and discuss politics almost at 90%. And all other contents are just complete other things.
Also speaking at the program was Assistant Education Minister Felicia Sakido Suma, who lauded the young educator for his massive achievement and challenged other young people to emulate his good example.
History is being made here today. And we are all part of this history making. In our country today, we look around and we're not so proud of some of the young people that we see because of the way they conduct themselves. But today we are part of history making that a very young man has decided to put his thoughts to use to be able to provide a platform for other people to get some form of development. I want to say congratulations, Charles. Charles came back with something that can be used to build people up. The first time he showed me the book, we were in the conference room, and he showed me the book, and short while I flipped through it, I said, Charles, I only one. He said, no, madam, I'm using this to advertise that the books are on the way coming. But you just have to read these, just flip through the books, and you'll find out that's something you want to keep handy in your bag or in your car that you can look at any time. And that is something we need for our country. I was sharing with a colleague just now, I said, if this was a political meeting, oh, you will not find space. There will be seats outside. But this is what we need to rebuild our country. All these small things, these small efforts, that's what we need in order for us to be able to be proud of ourselves tomorrow. So as we go through this process, I want to encourage you, Charles, that don't get discouraged. It's highly likely that you get discouraged after putting all into it, but use that, see this as an opportunity to even do more. The fact that those seats are empty, it gives you a reason to push forward. It means that we need to reach out to more people so that they understand that the way to build our country is through education.
Well, following the injunction on the Press Union of Liberia November 9, 2019 elections that was slated for Saturday, Civil Law Court B has ordered the leadership of the PUL to file a return to 8 on or before November 18, 2019. The rate, which amongst other things is invalidation of the voter roll, also stated why there should not be a ban on the holding of the elections. The decision came as a result of a barrage of claims and counterclaims relative to the voters' roll, which the aggrieved party alleged is flooded with unqualified voters. However, the leadership of the Press Union of Liberia, headed by Mr. Charles Coffey, believes the process was done in a proper manner by the membership committee and not him as a president, as claimed by his political opponents. According to reports, the incumbent leadership, through their lawyer, is expected to appear in court to further discuss this legal matter. In a brief interview with reporters, Mr. Coffey urged all members of the union to remain calm, as the union is a law-abiding one. At the same time, the chairman of the elections committee, Jalawa Tunko, said they are following the legal process to the core, and has assured the entire membership that the new date for the holding of the elections would have been announced today, November 11, same being Monday. Following the release of the final name to run the affairs of the Central Bank of Liberia after a competitive vetting process by the team which he set up recently, Liberian leader George Weah has officially named Mr. Aloysius Talu as executive governor of the Central Bank of Liberia. The new CBO executive governor designate, Mr. Talu, replaces Nathaniel Petrie, who resigned on October 24 this year. If confirmed by the Liberian Senate upon their return on Capitol Hill, hopefully November 18, Mr. Talu is expected to lead a team of other governors in restructuring the Central Bank of Liberia and tackle Liberia's challenging economy. According to an executive mansion release, Mr. Talu has lots of experiences and qualifications in the sector, mainly in the United States of America, amongst others. The incoming CBL chief worked with a plethora of important banks and other financial institutions in the United States of America, including JP Morgan Chase, BNY Mellon, amongst many other executive level financial establishments. Well, viewers, with that development coming from the Central Bank of Liberia, this is how we like to go home on this edition of News Today on KMTV. But before going, a recap of the headlines. United Nations Peace Building Commission pledges continual commitment in supporting Liberia's peace, security, development, and democratic endeavors. Press Union of Liberia's election hangs in the balance as Civil Law Court B places injunction on the entire process, writes the leadership. And Liberian journalist and educator Dr. Charles Bolly launches 2 books, encourages his peers to strive in becoming future champions. Well, many thanks for joining us tonight on our news presentation. Better still, you can follow us on www.kmtvliberia.com and other social media networks available to you. My name is Emmanuel Davis, bidding you a good night on behalf of the entire team of our News and Current Affairs Department of KMTV. Bye-bye.